Coding is something that's gaining popularity these days. Most of the applications are being built by coding, and nowadays, a lot of people are actually building applications. The future is going to be most of the jobs are going to be based on coding. So, to start with coding, you will need a lot of things, and you also need a few tools that need to be set up in order to code. I found coding very interesting. I loved it. And today in this video, I'm gonna show you how you can install Visual Studio Code on your computer. I'm Naseel, and this is Tech Harvesting. So the first thing you must do is open your browser window and go on to code.visualstudio.com. Slash download if you want, or you can just go to their website and click on other platforms. It's gonna take you to the same section in here. The next thing you must do is to choose the correct installer for your system. So currently I'm running Windows 10. So for Windows 10, this is the one that I can choose. I can even run it on Windows 7 or 8, or if you're on Linux, you can use the Debian package or the RPM package. And macOS, you can just download the installer or the .zip file as it shows in here. So I'll show you how to do it on Windows today. The first thing is to choose the correct type of installer. So there's user installer, system installer, and also the .zip file which you get. I don't recommend the .zip file anyways. So you can either use the user installer or the system installer. The user installer is gonna download it only for your user. Means if you use the computer, it's only you means it's fine. But if there are other users also, it's not gonna download it for them. So if it's a public PC or something, that's good. But if the system installer, on the other hand, is gonna download for all the users, like if somebody like creates a new account, then even for them, this is gonna be downloaded. So you should always be careful about that, about choosing the correct one. And the next option is the 64-bit, the 32-bit, or the ARM. So the best and the easiest way to check this is by opening your search and just typing 32. And you can see this, see if you have 32-bit or 64-bit version of Windows. So just click on that and it's gonna open up your settings and you'll see in here system type 64-bit operating system and 64 based processor, which means I have a 64-bit computer. So what I should do is go ahead and click on the, I'm going to use installer anyways, click on the 64-bit download and it'll take you to the docs and it'll start downloading the file. As you can see, it's downloading and it's done. It's not going to take much time. It's a simple file, it's a small file, it's just the installer. Just click on it and you're going to get this. You have to accept the agreement first, hit next. It's gonna choose the location where it's gonna download Visual Studio Code. By default, it goes to C users, your username, updated local programs, Microsoft VSCode. I'm just gonna leave it like that. It doesn't matter. You can just do that itself. Hit next, and next you're gonna get the Start menu folder, which is the folder that's gonna come in here. So there are a lot of folders, so you're just gonna choose which folder you want it to come. I'll keep it on a folder called Dev for development. If you don't want, you can just click on this. I want it. Let it be there. Hit next. Here are some additional tasks I can perform. I'm going to create the desktop icon so that I get these icons to launch it very easily. Then add open with code to Windows Explorer file context and directory context menu, which means, for example, the directory context menu just stands for maybe a folder like this. You can just right click in here. You'll see all these options. So if you have the option, if you take the option to add the directory context menu, when you right click in here, in this menu, you're gonna get a folder of open in VS Code, not a folder, an option of opening in VS Code. So it's gonna be much easier to open a specific folder in your computer with Visual Studio Code. The other way, you should go there, you should do Control O or File Open, and that's a bit long process. So I like that, and even the file context menu, maybe on a file like this one right here. If you right click in there, you're gonna get all these. So in that they'll show open in VS Code, and that's gonna open the file in VS Code. So I'm just gonna do that, hit next, and all these things. So the destination location is C uses whatever we gave that time. This is the start menu folder and the additional icons, which is the desktop icon itself. There's not much other additional icons. Then the others are the open with code options in the file menu and the directory context menu, and add to path, which I'll show you in a second what it does. It's also a useful feature. Hit install and it's gonna install Visual Studio Code. It's simple now. I'll just come back when the installer finishes installing it on my PC. So finally it's installed. It took me a few seconds, around 10 seconds, not a big process anyways. So just check this launch Visual Studio Code button and you can just hit finish. Yay. So there we go, right there. So Visual Studio Code is now open. I've actually used this before, so it just opened me all these. I'm just gonna delete those files anyway, so it's not gonna be difficult for you guys. So just right click, delete. So when you open it, it's gonna look like this, just like that, with this welcome screen and all these things. So the first thing I want to show you is how you can change the theme of Visual Studio Code, which is something which is gonna change your mood. Like if you're not feeling to code, maybe seeing the theme change might make you look code. Yeah, maybe. So just go File, Preferences, Color Theme. This is the default one, so you can just use the up and down arrow to preview them and enter key to use them, or you can just click on the theme that you want. Maybe the Solarized Dark or anything. I don't want all those themes, so I'm gonna go with the default one. I'm gonna install additional themes so that we can change it. So the first thing, the easiest way is to go File, Preferences, and Color Theme. You just scroll down and you'll find Install Additional Color Themes. Just click on that and it's gonna show you most of the color themes, the famous ones, popular ones actually. So this is icon theme. I'll show you how to do this too. Don't do this now, or if you want, you can do. I'm going to go with One Dark Pro, install, and yep, this is a very popular theme. You can see it has this much downloads. That's a lot, and you can see a lot of themes right here. Winter is coming. That's kind of like the same. One Dark, Night Owl. So you can see there are a lot of them. So I'm going with One Dark. There's another group of themes called Material Theme, and this one, if you install that, it might take some time. And there's another one called Monokai too. So let's just show that also. Monokai Pro. It's called Monokai Pro. So yeah, by the time material is done, just you can just, as I showed you, hover over one of uh, the options to select the theme and hit enter to choose. I'm gonna stick with One Dark Pro. I like that, and I might change it also. Now the other one is the Monokai Pro. You're gonna install that. This also is good. I like the filter spectrum. That looks a bit good for my eyes. Anyways, I'm not gonna do any of those since I told I'm gonna go with One Dark Pro. So that's how you install different themes. Now I'm gonna show you how you can install file icon themes, which are also awesome. Just click on this install additional file icon themes, and there are a lot of them. I like this material icon theme. We saw that before when we searched for themes. Anyways, I'm gonna install. You can see how much installs it's having, more than the theme that we just installed. Then you can just click on material icon theme. You're not gonna see any changes, but there are actual changes that took place when you open a folder or something. You'll be seeing the change. The next one, which came in a recent update of Visual Studio Code, is the product icon theme. So we can change these icons in a recent update. So you can just hit install additional product icons, and there are a lot of them. Material product icons, that one, that one, that one. You can choose what we want. This is the fluent icon, which looks like that. This one got a look like that. The carbon product icon's gotta look like that. I've not tried this actually. Let's install this one. I've not tried it actually. Just click in there and you can see how it looks right now with that, an account, that is the extension, the run and debug, the git, the search, and the file. Wow, nice. It looks nice actually. You can change all these. You can go for bootstrap icons, which I like a lot, and the fluent icons, which is actually the most downloaded one. By the way, bootstrap doesn't have much downloads, but it's awesome. I like it. So now we have done the customization part of the color theme, the file icon theme, and the product icon theme. Awesome. Now I want to show you a few plugins for Visual Studio Code, which are awesome. They're called extensions, actually not plugins. So you can just search for the awesome extensions. There's this recommended and the popular section. Let's just go over the popular section actually. Just put that down, put that down. Yep. So Python, if you program in Python, you can choose that. I do program, but I don't want that now. I'm just going to show you a few. This is something I'm going to install. It's called Prettier Code Formatter. It's a code formatter. It means when you write your code, it might not look so nice. So this extension just makes it look better by using a shortcut key or by right-clicking anywhere and hitting the format button. So that's something is very useful. Install. There's also an awesome extension. It's called Live Server. It helps us to launch a live server while doing our website. I'll just show how you can use it soon. You can just hit install, and there are a lot of them. This is something which is very awesome. It's called Git Lens. Just install that too. For using this, you must have Git installed. You can install Git. It's not much difficult. Git, you can just search gitscm.com. That's their website. And go to the downloads and choose your platform, your operating system, and you can download. It's a bit big installer, but no problem. It'll finish soon. So this is GitLens. It's installed. It got this small page with all these things. Looks nice. So you can even change a few settings in here, all the date settings and all. Like this is actually when you commit something to GitHub or something. This is gonna like record it and it's gonna like display a small line next to it when it was used and things like that. So I'm just gonna close that. There are other things. Maven, it's a package manager for Java. You can install some things for that. VSCode icons, that's also an icon theme, not the product icon, but the other icon. So there are actually a lot of them. This is from the Microsoft team itself, the VSCode icon theme from Microsoft. I think so. So there are other ones. You can see this is a code runner extension. I've not tried that, but a lot of them. This is also an awesome extension, Remote WSL. It helps us to use Windows Substitute for Linux, which is an awesome thing. I'll soon have a video on that too. It helps us run Linux on Windows. Later on, I'll show you how to use this extension. I'm not installing it right now. There are a lot of them. If I be going, you can see this list is too long, so I can't go over everything. See the number of extensions in there. They'll also show you recommended extensions. Since I have Chrome and Firefox, they're showing all these. ESLint is also an awesome thing. You can have more better linting or these error lines and stuff in the JavaScript files. Beautify is also a code formatter. We already have installed Prettier, so I'm not gonna install Beautify, but you can also use Beautify anyways. So that's JS Hints. That's another linter. So I'm just gonna close that. Enough of these extensions. There are actually a lot more extensions. You'll find a lot more if you search online. They're awesome. And GitLens has also given us this small menu in here called GitLens. And you can also go to these things in here like view, and you got extensions, run, SCM, and all these things. You can also move this thing in the side, maybe right like that. I prefer this because while we write our code, if we have it in the left side, when we like click in here, the code is gonna shift this side, like to just move like this. I don't like that. If you keep it like this, it's just the side that's gonna move. It won't go like this when we have a file open. So just talking about file open, why don't you open a folder and create files? So this test folder that I've created, just opening it. And let's make a basic file and I'll show you the use of the live server and actually not show you the use of the code thing, which the add to path while installing, right? Let's just go ahead and see that. Just open up your terminal, I mean command prompt. I'm using Windows Terminal in here. You can download it from the Microsoft Store. You just type in code and hit enter. what's gonna happen is it's gonna launch Visual Studio Code. So you don't have to always go ahead and double click on the icon or do something like that. Just type in code in the command prompt and it's gonna launch Visual Studio Code. If you don't have to open the command prompt, just right click on your start menu and it might show command prompt. If it doesn't show command prompt, doesn't matter. You can use PowerShell also, or you can just search for CMD and hit enter, and it's gonna do that. You can just type in code. Oops, and yep, there you go. So that's working fine. Now let's create an index.html file just for testing. Index.html, hit enter. Another thing is that if you want to open two Visual Studio Code processes, you can just drag from here top and you'll get another terminal in here itself. So just I don't like using PowerShell as my default, so I change it to oops, select default profile. Seems like it's not happy to change it. Just leave that. You can just change it. I later I'm using this PowerShell right now. Just type in code, hit enter, and just like before, it's gonna happen from VSCode itself. So you can either go File and New Window, or you can do Code in this terminal. Oops. You can also, to open the terminal, you can just go to Terminal and New Terminal. And so this way, if you already have a terminal open, you might get all these extra menus. So that's the terminal part. Anyways, we were doing this, so we'll come back. One thing I find is that this font size is a bit small for me, so I'm just gonna increase it. Editor font size, it shows it's 18. Let's change it to 18 itself. It might reset, or is it not? Make it 23. Anyways, so yeah, that's big now. This is what I told before, okay? So this thing, if it's on the other side, right click and move the sidebar to left, you can see that when I open, the file's gonna jump both the sides. So that's the reason I keep it at the right side. So let's start coding a small HTML file. This is a small shortcut that I'm gonna show you right now. Just type exclamation mark and hit enter on your keyboard. This is gonna give you this small template, which is going to be much useful when you do more coding in HTML. So you get this sample file in here, you have some contents in it, and it's very useful. So this also makes it responsive, so it works good on both mobiles and on computers or laptops. So I'll just change this title. Wow, nice. So the next thing we must do is to see our website. So most of the websites we make are made with HTML. So let's see this website too. The first way is by doing this, copy path, go there, a new tab, hit enter, and it's going to show that to you. Um, anyways, I have this setting called auto save enabled. That's the reason I don't have to save my file every time. Otherwise, once you make a change, you must save. That's a long process. I don't like that, so I have kept this auto save option on. And the thing is that even though we have auto save, maybe we have h1 and hi, and maybe I am Naseel. Oh, yes, that's better. Still, you can see that it doesn't update automatically because we have to refresh the page. That's also a small kind of headache for me. So what I do is I go ahead and right click here and open live server. This is the extension that we had done with later. So you can see now it's showing the thing without reloading. But how will you understand if it works every time? Just do h2 hi, just for fun. And when you reach here, it's gonna refresh automatically. It's an awesome feature according to me. Like you don't have to come here refresh all the time you make a change to a file. So that's something I love a lot. And yeah, that's awesome. The next thing is this thing called Emmet, which helps us get small snippets for inserting things. For example, if I type link, you find all these links which can be inserted, like this link to your CSS file, style sheet, or your icon, or whatever you want. So if you do this, it's gonna import something, Anyways, you can just do colon CSS, hit enter, and that's going to do that for you. So this small snippet for inserting a style sheet. So what I'm going to do, new file, styles.css, and hit enter. Maybe I have the body. Can just do that. One thing I always find a bit confusing is the bracket control. So I don't like these colors, brackets and things. So I install an extension called bracket pair colorizer. So bracket pair colorizer 2 is the new one, so I'm going to install that. Now what happens is if you have brackets inside brackets, the color of the brackets are going to change. So it makes it more easy to identify the correct pair of brackets. So that's a useful extension. So here I'm going to change the background color to black and maybe the normal color to whatever that is, Blanche Diamond. That's kind of funny. No, I don't know why, but oh yeah, this is styles and this is style. I'll just make that an S. Yep, it's gonna show you here too. And by the time you reach here, it's refreshed and it's having a black background and that whatever the color was, foreground color. So that's working, and that's how you use Visual Studio Code. You can create more files, you can create folders, maybe CSS. I can maybe move this folder in here. Oops, this file into this folder and move. Then you'll have to update this too. So CSS slash. It'll also still show you that, but you know we have already completed that. So that's how you use Visual Studio Code. That's how you just configure for the base use. If you're using other frameworks or something, like for example, if you use React, GraphQL or something, this is awesome extension called React ES7 React Redux GraphQL native React Native snippets. Hit install, and that's an awesome thing. You can just go through here. I'm not having a React project here right now, so I'm not going to show that to you. So like this, import React from React, you just type in IMR, hit enter, that's going to do that for you. So like that, there are a lot of billions of extensions that you can install. Anyway, so that was it for this video. I just want to show you how you can do all these things. Of course, we'll be having more videos, a lot of videos on you learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Node.js, and all these things. So stay tuned for the next video. Bye. Oh, now I got this prompt.